Hello everyone, it is time for Drumline Drama Part 2, Crustfell Drama. Please enjoy.
School was out, and summer had begun. The time for love and friendship was now, but for Dutch Chan, it was loneliness. After the tragic events at Flower Petal, Unicorn, Cheez-It Puff Love High School snare drum audition, Dutch Chan was left with nothing. His life, a cascade of nothingness. Not even his brother, Fitty-san, could cheer him up. He was dead, killed, by the hand of his own brother's snare drum. Dutch Chan sat on his bed, trying to erase his saddening memories with hot Minecraft videos. On the video, the Minecraft girl winked at the screen. Dutch Chan smiled, forgetting the bad thoughts, when suddenly his mom came in, glaring at his screen. Dutch Chan was overcome with fear. He had been caught watching his beloved Minecraft videos. His mom sprinted at him, eyes blazing, in a look of pure death. Tosito. She stopped directly in front of his screen, looking down at the video, now playing sexy Minecraft Herobrine cosplay animation.
First face, Sam, not you! I can't believe you're watching this! This is disgusting! You should go throw up over the railing and then you didn't go out in the street yelling that you were Jacob Sartorius. I'm so disappointed in you!
She screamed. I can explain. YouTube. Dutch Chan started. He was quickly interrupted by his mother.
I can't believe I called you my son! What you should really be doing is watching Roblox Battle Royale hot scenes!
Dutch Chan breathed a sigh of relief and started searching it, when suddenly his mom grabbed his iPad and chunked it out the window.
But you're too young to be watching that, do something else! You lazy flabbernacle sheep!
So Dutch Chan set out to find what he could do now to ease his horrid memories. First he tried making YouTube videos, but after a certain point, he stopped making them after Thick Jackie Chan's Senpai Mama found his computer passwords and proceeded to make 10 consecutive live streams of himself breathing and yelling "suck" into the mic. He tried to become a professional athlete, but that was soon crushed after an almost fatal hit in the anus. Anus. Dutch Chan was hurt immensely and couldn't do anything for weeks except lie in bed, wondering what existence had to offer him the next day. After a week of this horrid lifestyle, Evan Sam Chan Wan Han Chan San arm swan long jumped in through the roof of Dutch Chan's room. He proceeded to screech, "Did you see that episode of hot, thick, adhesive Minecraft fidget Jake Paul at 3 a.m. with Boss Baby last night? Bro, like dude, stuff went down. The hot Minecraft girl had a date with the new character, Senpai Swift from Flex Seal Products, and it was like going all good and stuff. But then it turned out Senpai Swift was a maniac. He tied up the girl with flex tape and proceeded to pull his pants down and began to, oh, sorry man, spoilers, didn't realize you were hurt that badly. With the state you're in, all you can do is play video games or read." Oh, shoot. And then it dawned on Dutch Chan like the realization that the earth wasn't flat, but a giant octahedron in the shape of drumsticks between two snare drums. He was going to make a video game almost 100% identical to the one he described as, "This is so good," but at the same time, completely original. He began working on it immediately. He began watching YouTube tutorials on coding, especially the ones made by his favorite hot Minecraft animator. However, he needed people to help him with the task. By the time he was out of his bed and his anus was all healed up, Dutch Chan was ready to span the octahedral world to find those people. And that, my friends, is where all this begins. Dutch Chan walked outside, his first ounce of sunlight in a month hitting his face, blinding him. Dutch Chan couldn't see for another 5 minutes, so decided to sit in the middle of the street, not knowing he was in the street, and wait for his eyes to adjust. By the time they did, and he was going to continue with his journey, a truck flew toward him. But Dutch Chan was ready and did a level 20 backflip, learned from Allier's latest Fortnite video. He landed the flip and continued walking.
Dutch Chan's first destination was Flower Petal Unicorn Cheese Public High School. On his way there, he relived his past memories about his friends and family. Suddenly, Dutch Chan gasped, and his eyes bulged wide with primal screeches. Matt Senpai was standing in the middle of the road, staring at him with a wide grin full of decomposing teeth. The time was now. Matt Chan had come back to finally end the war. The war which you thought ended with the snare drum audition winner. But there you are so wrong. Dutch Chan and Matt Senpai parted ways after that, knowing one day their paths would cross again, leading to the final conflict. This was it. "It's time to end this, once and for all," Matt Senpai said.
Yes, you are grammatically correct in what you're saying,
Dutch Chan responded, showing off his intellectual superiority over Matt Senpai. Matt Senpai rushed toward Dutch Chan, revealing a double-edged fidget spinner in his back pocket. His hand reached toward it quickly, pulling it out, facing it towards Dutch Chan's heart. Dutch Chan noticed it at the last nanosecond and grabbed the fidget spinner, plunging it into Matt Senpai's shoulder. Matt Senpai screamed in pain and slapped Dutch Chan across the face. Both fell to the ground and recovered. Matt Senpai was the first to get up and rush over to Dutch Chan and sent a blast of pure love and friendship toward his face. Dutch Chan then blasted a beam of anime love, hitting the other beam. The two beams connected, forming a giant flash of light and a quick explosion. They were both blown back and hit the ground hard. Looking up, they both gasped in horror. Where the explosion had occurred, a boy was now standing. The boy looked up and around him. Dutch Chan and Matt Senpai quickly realized who it was by the boy's weird expressions and Mark Zuckerberg-like jokes, which he had not said yet, but they could just tell that he was that kind of person to say them after the joke was long due. It was Fiddy-san. Dutch Chan stood up and was in awe. He walked over to his own brother, tears in his eyes.
Fiddy-san, is that you? I'm so sorry about what I did and said to you. Please forgive me, man. I hope it's still time for that apology,
he said. Fiddy-san looked at Dutch Chan, saying,
Time is only a structural concept to keep society happy. What time are you referring to the point in space-time continuum? But here, the only time is Zucker time.
Fiddy-san then pulled out an AK-47, aimed it at Dutch Chan, and pulled the trigger. A loud gunshot rung out over the area. Matt Senpai couldn't hear, but just ringing in his ears. He didn't want this to happen. No one was going to die. It was just a little conflict between him and Dutch Chan to solve their problems. He ran over to Dutch Chan, who was laying on the ground, but he wasn't bleeding. Matt Senpai then noticed the other person laying near him, blood beginning to spread on his clothes. It was Tap Senpai Daddy dying on the hard asphalt ground.
I'm sorry.
He said through anguish.
I started all this pain between you two, and I shall end it through my own pain.
He looked up at Dutch Chan and smiled. Then he died.
Matt Senpai and Dutch Chan ran toward Fiddy-san, tackling him. Before he could pull the trigger again, Fiddy-san struggled against them, but was too weak to get out of their cold, sticky grasp around him.
Guys, chill. I have to watch my Fortnite short stories. Chill.
He whined. They didn't move.
Guys, stop. I have to. Guys, chill. You're so mean. Chill.
Dutch Chan smacked Fiddy-san in the cheek. How are you still alive? I thought I killed you, he asked.
Well, Dutch, you see, Dutch Chan, there is something called blood. It doesn't actually mean you're dead, you lousy piece of eggplant. I just got back up and went into your closet.
That's where you've been this whole time? In my closet?
Yeah, you're like really unobservant. I also took pictures of you sleeping and doing stuff in your room and posted them on the deep web. There are like 20 hot girls that want your address. It sounds strange, like a 50-year-old man, but they said that. But I set that aside, like, you, the man, Dutch Chan, you're famous.
You what? Fiddy-san, there are gonna be like 50 pedophiles trying to find me. Oh heck, I gotta hide. You didn't give them any of them her address, did you?
Well, one girl said that if I gave her the address, she would play Fortnite with me. So we played, and she sounded really, like, old and manly. But I set that aside. She would be on her own way now.
Oh, son of a nun's gun, son's ones. I have to hide.
Nah, be it fine.
Dutch Chan then jumped up, 20 feet in the air, and zoomed to the school. His love and friendship powers enabled him to be able to do this amazing feat. Matt Senpai was very confused. Like the time he realized the anime is not real, but just a way for the Japanese government to brainwash all citizens and make them buy anime merch. Matt Senpai went and walked to the school, seeing lots of horrifying and disgusting things on the way. For example, the creepy-looking 50-year-old overweight man slowly driving in a car towards Dutch Chan's house. After 20 minutes of walking, Matt Senpai made it to the school. He entered the building to find Dutch Chan crouching on the floor in fear.
Why are you scared?
Matt Senpai asked. Then he realized, standing in the hallway, was James Senpai-san. He was deemed the most bodacious boy in all of Oregon. His rad sunglasses blinded Matt Senpai. He fell to the ground and cowered back in the corner with Dutch Chan. "What do we do?" Dutch Chan asked. But he already knew the answer. They were doomed. James Senpai-san's voice rang out across the school.
I know you're hiding, Dutch Chan. There's nothing you can do to stop my radicalness.
Oh yeah?
Suddenly, a voice spoke out from the front door. Matt Senpai looked. It was Jackie Chan's senpai mama, in the flesh.
You idiotic anthropomorphic adolescent scum of the universe. You really think your powers can defeat me?
James Senpai-san laughed.
No, you!
Jackie Chan senpai mama said. His remark echoed around the school. James Senpai-san flew back and hit a locker. He looked up at Jackie Chan senpai mama and spit out blood.
You're looking at a mirror.
That was all he had to say to send Jackie Chan senpai mama flying backward, hitting the door at full force. Jackie Chan senpai mama got back on his feet and stared James Senpai-san dead in the eye. Your mom! James Senpai-san collapsed. He didn't know if he could survive much longer. Those last two roasts were just too savage. But James had a comeback.
Your entire friend group!
He screamed. Jackie Chan senpai mama fell on his knees and screamed in pain. This was just too lit. The savageness of James Senpai-san. The savageness of James Senpai-san couldn't be attacked. But Jackie Chan senpai mama had one more roast up his sleeve. But that roast was all too powerful. If said, it could make him, James Senpai-san, Matt Senpai, and Dutch Chan all spontaneously combust and their brains explode because of massive savage levels. But it had to be done.
Your mom is so fat when she passed me while I was watching TV. Your entire generation died off because of natural causes by the time she passed fully.
Jackie Chan senpai mama screamed. He collapsed in exhaustion and waited to slowly die from the roast. James Senpai-san was knocked backwards and fell on his face. He didn't want to die. He didn't want to go. Not now. He had a life.
I don't want to go. Please!
James Senpai-san cried out into the darkness. Dutch Chan was unfazed from the roast that had just been said. He walked over to James Senpai-san and got him up. Dutch Chan could feel that his radical levels had decreased by 50.
Matt Senpai got Jackie Chan senpai mama back on his feet, and together with Dutch Chan, the three of them walked out of Flower Petal Unicorn Cheesy Puff Love High School. They sat on a bench out the courtyard, and Dutch Chan finally said what he needed from everyone. Guys, I'm going to make a video game, and I need your help in order to do so. I would like you, Jackie Chan senpai mama, to do the game testing. Matt Senpai, I want you to do the music and art, and Fitty-san will do advertising, I guess.
Question. What's the title?
Jackie Chan senpai mama asked. It's a working title, but I think I'm going with no, not Heartman. Sorry. Not Earthman. Whoops, wait. Undertale. Nope. I must jump's what I meant to say. Nope, wait. Okay, it's actually Crustfell. Dutch Chan fumbled with his words.
Crustfell?
Matt Senpai laughed.
That's what you came up with?
No, Crustfell.
I heard Crustfell, so that's what the title, or I'm quitting.
Matt Senpai yelled. He started swelling with tears.
You guys need to stop or I'm going to throw a table. Do you have any idea what my 10-year guy's going to do? I'm going to quit, and he doesn't stop.
Jackie Chan Senpai Mama's eyes bulged wide with cupcake-flavored hero wine.
Wow, Matt Senpai, that remark was really off-key.
That's it. I quit. Good luck with your stupid game. That's a copy of another game. Jesus Christ, this is so good.
Matt Senpai stormed off in a fit of tears and rage. Dutch Chan stood still, his mind processing what just happened. Well, I guess you can do the music then, and I'll do the art. Right after those words were said, Matt Senpai reappeared and walked slowly towards them.
Okay, I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to now make a really long apology where I never actually say sorry, but I just make everything on you idiots. Here it goes. You guys have been bullying me and calling me names like off-key, and I don't appreciate that, and you just don't know what's going on right now. My favorite anime just got canceled, and I'm going through a tough time right now in Minecraft. I was told that I was bad due to the server time. It's certain that made me sad, so stop thinking that everything is fine and go suck an egg. There, I said my apology. I hope you forgive me.
Matt Senpai said, but he didn't really say it. He just stood there and typed it out on Discord and then sent it to them and had them read it. So I don't really know. He had to explain what just went down, but it was some sad stuff. There was a moment of silence. Not even a moment. Maybe even more. In the time it took for someone to speak, Jackie Chan Senpai Mama had walked all the way to his house and made himself a ginormous, long, large, big, extended, elongated bowl of Captain Crunch berries. He then proceeded to watch an episode or two of Boss Baby Meets the Boss Adult Ultimate Showdown, the movie, with Brad Curry as the Boss Adult, and featuring the songs from the hit Smash Mouth. Also, containing scenes too inappropriate for children because the director is none other than Michael Bay.
Also featuring hit Instagram star Lil Tay as wife Yandere Baby. Also contains scenes too savage to be seen. The movie. Shoot.
Okay. Well, Matt Senpai, you can still do the music, but I'm gonna do the art.
Dutch Chan said finally. What? Now I can't do the art? I'm gonna quit! Matt Senpai screamed. Dutch Chan rubbed his eyes and sighed.
Well,
You just don't. Oh.
you just don't seem like you can do the art with all the stuff going on in your life, like the tender in Minecraft. So I decided I would take that responsibility.
Now you're just taking it all and like no one else matters, Matt Senpai protested. You're taking like all the fun! But to be honest, I just wanted to do the music. But now you're fired me from doing art, you're already going to be poop and horrible because he never sold my wooden floors that was never actually made. I'm going back home to work on music that's not for the game, it's just for me and other people on YouTube. Bye! Matt Senpai walked off. Jackie Chan Senpai Mama sat down. This isn't turning out as planned, is it? Dutch Chan popped a squat next to him.
Yeah, I thought I'd bring us all together, but all it's doing is spreading us apart. Matt Senpai is just being a booty face right now. That's okay. I'm gonna head home and code now.
Dutch Chan sighed and walked off. Now it was only Jackie Chan's Senpai Mama. He knew this game was only going to destroy Dutch Chan and Matt Senpai's friendship. He had to do something, but what? Then he knew. He quickly got on Discord where they were having a big argument and started spamming as many jokes and memes as he could muster, but it wasn't enough. So he started to tell them both to be quiet and chill. But that didn't work, so he just walked home hoping tomorrow would be better. The next day, Matt Senpai ignored Dutch Chan. Dutch Chan didn't know what to do. He walked over to Jackie Chan's Senpai Mama and started talking to him.
What should I do about Matt Senpai? No matter what I say, he still ignores me.
I don't know. It'll work out in the end. Don't worry about it. Dutch Chan walked off, and Matt Senpai quickly walked over to Jackie Chan's Senpai Mama. Dutch Chan is being such a jerk. Do you agree? I think he's taking over the game, he said. Jackie Chan's Senpai Mama didn't know how to respond. He was caught in between two arguments, like two tectonic plates, squoozing against a giant anime body pillow. I think everything will work out, he finally said. Matt Senpai then walked off.
The next couple of weeks followed in the same pattern. Dutch Chan talking about Matt Senpai to Jackie Chan Senpai Mama, and Matt Senpai doing the same about Dutch Chan. Jackie Chan Senpai Mama tried to keep everyone happy and all the friendships together. It was a lost cause. He knew it so. Fitty San knew what was going on, still proceeded to be Fitty San. Evan Chan San Wan Han San Long Swam Slong Slong honestly didn't know what was happening. He just kept making skate vlogs. But eventually, everything went back to normal. That didn't last long. Dutch Shan didn't think Matt Senpai was making music. Instead, Dutch Shan thought he was on LSD or something crazy. Honestly, Dutch Shan may have been a little something too. After all, Fitty San is a secret drug dealer. Dutch Chan walked up to Matt Senpai and asked a question that altered everything. Hey, do you want to quit? Matt Senpai looked up at Dutch Chan.
Actually, yeah, I just don't have a lot of inspiration, so yeah, I'll quit.
Dutch Chan finally thought that it was all over. All of the drama. He soon gave Jackie Chan Senpai, Mama, the job of doing music. But it wasn't long after that. They all spiraled downhill. Matt Senpai came to school the next day after quitting and was insane. He flipped all the tables and chairs and sofas. He was mad like Nintendo when they found out Bowser existed. He approached Dutch Chan, and from his hand, a fireball appeared. Dutch Chan stood up and looked at Matt Senpai.
This is it. You're gonna die.
Matt Senpai screamed, angrily. What did I do? Dutch Chan said.
You know exactly what you did.
Jackie Chan Senpai Mama saw what was about to go down and stepped in between them.
Guys, stop. It's not worth it. Anime isn't real.
But Matt Senpai wasn't going to listen. He grabbed Jackie Chan Senpai Mama by the throat and squooshed.
But Matt Senpai, please don't. He tried to say it through clenched teeth.
Dutch Chan couldn't bear to watch Jackie Chan Senpai Mama die. He grabbed the chair next to him and slammed it over Matt Senpai's head. Matt Senpai collapsed on the ground. It's over, Matt Senpai. I have the high ground, Dutch Chan yelled. He bent down next to Matt Senpai and offered his hand to help him get back up. Matt Senpai reached out his hand and they touched. Dutch Chan became excited. Dutch Chan started to pull Matt Senpai up when he felt immense pain in his left thigh. Matt Senpai had stabbed him.
Dutch Chan fell on his knees and the blade dug farther into his leg. He was in immense pain and was starting to see black, but he had a war to end. He looked down at his thigh to find the blade, a diamond-encrusted Minecraft mini-diamond sword, only the most fatal of weapons, and pulled it out. Blood gushed out of his wound, and Dutch Chan screamed out in pain. But this was only mild pain of what was to come. Dutch Chan held the blade in his hand and approached Matt Senpai.
Is this what you want? Pain and blood.
He screamed. Matt Senpai looked at Dutch Chan, then down at Jackie Chan Senpai Mama. He looked back up at Matt Senpai. Matt Senpai, come close. There's something I need to say, he whispered seductively. Matt Senpai did as he was told and leaned his ear toward Jackie Chan Senpai Mama's mouth. To defeat Dutch Chan, you have to yawn, he whispered. To any normal human, this wouldn't be anything they would have thought at second thoughts about. One would just think of it as something weird or funny, but to Matt Senpai it was the death sentence. Just saying the word yawn around him would summon in a holy beast inside and make him yawn. Some could say it's a cool party trick. To him, it is a curse. Matt Senpai was caught off guard and yawned. During this yawn, his eyes closed for 1 second, and this time Dutch Chan ran towards Matt Senpai and roundhouse kicked him in the cheek. Matt Senpai fell head first into the ground and spit out blood. So you're serious then? Then be prepared to be, Matt Senpai said. He pulled out a recorder and swung it across Dutch Chan's knee. There was a loud crack as Dutch Chan's leg caved in and broke from the force of the forsaken instrument. Dutch Chan screamed as he fell to the ground. He couldn't go on much longer. Dutch Chan tried to get himself back up, but Matt Senpai pushed him back on the ground. Dutch Chan knew what he had to do, but he could either stop the fight or make Matt Senpai even more furious. He looked up at Matt Senpai and grinned.
Yo! You're off key,
he said. Matt Senpai processed the words Dutch Chan said, and his offended levels increased by a factor of 7. No one dare call him off key. Why do you call me that, you jerkhead looking Shakespearean booty accent turd face? He screamed at Dutch Chan. Then he lunged toward Dutch Chan, eyes bulging with primal screeches. He extended his arm and pulled out no other than the same fidget spinner he tried to use on Dutch Chan during the snare drum auditions. Then he swung the blade toward Dutch Chan.
A cry of pain rung out of the school as the blade finally hit. Dutch Chan opened his eyes, expecting to watch himself die. But this was not so. Standing there above Dutch Chan was Evan San Chan Wan Han San Arm Swan Slong. He had taken the blade for Dutch Chan. He looked down at Dutch Chan, then at his stomach. His hand was covering the wound, making the gushing blood stop momentarily. But he was losing blood too fast. Evan San Chan Wan Han San Slang Sound Arm Swang Slong fell on his knees and started to spit blood. He pulled the blade out of his stomach and sighed. This was the end for him. But Evan San Chan Wan Han San Slong's Arm Slong Slong didn't want to die. Not now. He remembered his past friends, family, and lovers. He started to rise back up, the wound no longer hurting. His arms started to shake, and his hair started to grow all over him. Matt Senpai backed away, afraid of what was happening. All of a sudden, Evan San Chan Wan Han San Sland Arm Swan Slong shirt burst open, revealing a 16-pack covered in orange hair. No, not hair. Fur. Then his pants burst open to reveal even more orange fur. Then his nose elongated and turned into an animal-like snout. His eyes became wider and thicker, and his cheekbones even rose beyond comprehension. Evan San Chan Wan Han San Zan Arms Wang Slong turned and faced Matt Senpai, but he was no longer the man he once was. You fool. You thought you could defeat me with a fidget spinner? Oh, you fool. This whole time, you thought I was the average human friend. Wrong. I'm a furry. This is my true form, he said. Matt Senpai backed up into a corner. He didn't know what to do. He looked over at Dutch Chan, who was just as shocked as he was. Dutch Senpai couldn't move because of his leg. Matt Senpai slowly stood up and walked toward the door.
Evan San Chan Wan Han Can San Arms Wan Slong. It doesn't have to be like this. I wasn't trying to hit you.
He tried to explain, but Evan wouldn't listen. He kept approaching Matt Senpai faster every second. Then he lunged at Matt Senpai. While Evan San Chan Wan Han San Zan Arm Swan Slong was in midair, Biddy San jumped in the way and tackled the furry to the ground. Jackie Chan Senpai Mama watched in awe as all this happened. He knew Evan San Chan Wan Han San Zan Arm Swan Slong, was the best skate vlogger on this side of town, but being a furry was a thought that never crossed his mind. But this was not a good thing.
Chan Senpai Mama's goal in life was that he was going to send all furries to Jupiter, where they would try to land, but no, because this planet was pure gas and they would fall through and all be sucked into Uranus. Basically, his entire life plan was one big anus joke, using the planet Uranus as the punchline. But this was later. Now he had to carry out that goal and fight Evan San Chan Wan Han Can San Arm Swan Slong.
Jackie Chan's Senpai Mama jumped into action and ran into the giant fight of the furry and Fiddy San. He proceeded to smack into Fiddy San, who then ran into the furry. They all fell on each other, but Jackie Chan's Senpai Mama was at the top, so he had the high ground. He quickly got up on his feet and proceeded to push Fiddy San and the furry back on the ground every time they tried to get up.
While this was occurring, Matt Senpai approached Dutch Chan, pulling out a Nerf auto pistol rifle AK-47 bazooka. He aimed it at Dutch Chan's head and closed his eyes. The Nerf gunshot rang out over the hills and valleys. All the drama, all the suffering had finally come to an end. The smoke from the gunshot started to clear and Matt Senpai still stood holding his gun, but he never shot. Matt Senpai collapsed on the ground, blood dripping from his stomach. Dutch Chan had shot Matt Senpai. They both approached toward each other, each throwing punches and kicking the other. But they couldn't keep on much longer because of Dutch Chan's leg and Matt Senpai's stomach. Neither would survive for another couple of minutes. Jackie Chan Senpai Mama and Evan San Chan Wan Han Can San Arm Swan Salon battled it out on the other side of the room. Fiddy San had given up and started watching Fortnite short stories on YouTube. Once they saw this, they were shocked. To both Jackie Chan Senpai Mama and Evan San Chan Wan Han Can San Arm Swan Salon,
Fortnite short stories were some of the worst things in the universe. So to destroy this atrocity, they both ran toward Fitty-san and grabbed his computer.
Guys, stop!
Fitty-san whined. Jackie Chan Senpai Mama looked upon Fitty-san. Jackie Chan Senpai Mama looked upon Fitty-san with a forlorn expression. How could you? He said.
I was just watching it to look like I liked Fortnite. You fell for it.
Fitty-san quickly replied. Check his
Internet history.
Evan San Chan Wan Han Kan Zan Arm Swan Slong said. He looked at Jackie Chan Senpai Mama with a look of hope. He still believed in Fitty-san.
Why do you want to do that? Stop!
Fitty-san ran toward his beloved computer. Jackie Chan Senpai Mama only had a short amount of time. He quickly typed Command Y and Fitty-san's search history came up. It was what he expected, but much worse. This wasn't just Fortnite. It was Jake Paul, Green Steve, Herobrine, Fortnite hot booty compilations, hottest furries on the internet, and worst of all, Fortnite grinding ASMR. Jackie Chan Senpai Mama was disgusted. He dropped Fitty-san's computer and looked up at him. Fitty-san, why? Was all he had to say. Evan San Chan Wan Han Kan Zan Arm Swan Shlong looked down at the computer screen. He now no longer could call Fitty-san a friend. This was too much, even for a furry. He had to end this. He stepped on Fitty-san's computer and it shattered into thousands of pieces. Fitty-san screamed at him and started to expand. He was now the largest living planet on Earth.
Evan San Chan Wan Han San Zan Arms Wong Slong backed away, and his eyes bulged with fear. Fitty-san was the thickest man alive already, but now he would never be thin. Fitty-san looked upon his dying brother, Dutch Chan, and walked over to him. He leaned over Dutch Chan, and absorbed him. He then did the same to Matt Senpai. Jackie Chan Senpai Mama watched in shock. Fitty-san was saving both of them. It was all over. Evan San Chan Wan Han San Zan Arm Slong stood next to him and turned back into his former self.
It's over.
Jackie Chan Senpai Mama said.
No more Drumline drama.
For now, at least, let's go watch some hot freaking heat some Minecraft Jake Bot 3 a.m. with Boss Baby Anime. I think season 23 is starting.
Evan San Chan Wan Han Kan Zan Arm Swan Shalong said. Yeah, the last season was depressing with the death of Jake Paul and the new appearance of Senpai Swift. Jackie Chan Senpai Mama responded.
They both stood and watched as Fitty-san finished absorbing Matt Senpai and headed over to the hospital. It was all over. All the Drumline drama. No more.
After Dutch Chan and Matt Senpai got out of the hospital, they put their hate toward each other aside and together dated all the anime girls in the universe. Jackie Chan Senpai Mama and Evan San Chan Wan Han Kan San Arm Swan Salong were as normal as ever, and Fitty-san took a job at running a hotel over the winter to write Fortnite short stories. This
was the end
of Drumline drama. For now.
Subscribe!
on Fitty-san